The shiur is dedicated to the Ilui Nishmas. They put up a nice sign here so I could see it, even though of course I've said it many times now. But I have to say it must be accruing an enormous amount of merit through these Nalek classes. Okay, questions. What does the Torah say about bashert the second time around? Is it announced Ploni bat Ploni will marry Mr. Aleph the first time, and the second time will she marry Mr. Y? Okay, so it works like this. The whole inyan of bashert is different than what people think. It says 40 days before a person is born, Hashem says, but Ploni le Ploni. But he also says, bayit Ploni le Ploni, meaning everything in our lives are essentially bashert. But the Mechubala maintain, and Malbim quotes, that the original zivug rishon, which is the one that's bashert, is the zivug of the body and the soul. Hashem says that this soul, this daughter, will be married to this man, this body. I just said it wrong. The soul is the man, the body is the woman. Okay, meaning there's nothing coincidental about the zivug of your body and soul. The fact that you're born to your parents, your times, your physiology, it's all from Hashem. The second time goes by merit, meaning when you marry the first time, which is really the second zivug, the first one being your body and soul, that's according to your merit, what you've built yourself into being. And this obviously would be true for the third zivug, for the fifth zivug, for whatever, lo aleinu, the fifth zivug. Okay, whatever number of marriages a person makes. So of course everything is known by Hashem, just like everything else is known by Hashem. But everything goes according to merit. The Arizal says it's hard to get through life, in case you need the Arizal to tell you this. And therefore, as a chesed, Hashem will put people on your way who you could join with and marry. Okay, my very religious sister is depressed because in her mid-30s she has, quote, only, unquote, 7 kids. According to her, most of her religious friends have at least 10 or 12. Are religious Jews really expected to repopulate the world? Do you think that having all these kids is a trend or a competition or one more lifestyle choice that turned into an absolute law for these people? I assume it's not an actual law to constantly reproduce. I suggested adoption if she really wanted to raise more children. She looked at me like I lost my mind. Apparently, religious Jews will give birth to babies, but most of them do not believe in adopting the many Jewish children in Jewish orphanages. Aren't Jews commanded to take care of orphans? Why don't they? Does this too need to become a trend? How can people only have love to give to biological children, bemoan the fact that they have far too few children, and refuse to take in a child who needs them? This doesn't sound Jewish to me. How can I understand my sister's point of view? I don't want her to be upset, and I don't want to cause her any more pain than she already feels. It's just that we didn't grow up with the community she's been living in since she's 19, and that now that she's 37, I still don't understand it. Okay. So, first of all, let's look at the world through your sister's eyes. Your assumption is that the only reason why she could possibly be depressed about having only 7 kids have to fall into several categories. It may be a trend. It may be a competition. It may be a lifestyle choice turned into a law. So those are the 3 possibilities that you're willing to acknowledge. Again, trend, competition, or misguided sense of what's a law. So let me tell you that through your sister's eyes, not necessarily your eyes, I don't know you, but through your sister's eyes, there's a 4th possibility. That 4th possibility is blessing and opportunity. I repeat, blessing and opportunity. So your sisters, and many women like her, see every child that comes into their lives as a blessing. The word for blessing in Hebrew is bracha. Its 3-letter root is bet, resh, chaf. Bet is 2 in gematria, resh is 200, chaf is 20. So each one is the first plural in its unit. A bracha is something that maximizes. People see children as a way of maximizing their contribution and their continuance in the world. The world needs good people desperately. The world doesn't need more people. The world needs good people. The Jews believe in themselves, in case you didn't notice. We believe that every child is a bracha. Every child maximizes what the world was created for. And not only that, they're a bracha to their parents, meaning the parents' spirituality, their ability to give, their ability to be godly, is maximized through their interaction with every additional child. We also believe children to be an opportunity. Every child is so unique, so different than any other person who ever lived. Being in that child's presence and helping them develop is a huge opportunity. It's interesting, it's creative. Okay, so that's where she's coming from. So now let's look at the other issues. You assume that it's not an actual law to constantly reproduce. There is a law requiring Jews to reproduce, meaning the law is peru urevu, be fruitful and multiply. The minimum level of obedience to that law is to have at least replace yourselves, at least have a boy and a girl. However, the bracha is to more and